Hey everybody, how's it going? So I had a prediction that New York City was going to be failing, but in a particular direction. And I thought that as a result of COVID happening and all of the businesses closing, that there was going to be less reasons for people to be here for two reasons. A, most of the people who live here are paying sky high rents solely because it makes sense to do so because they get a higher salary. So if you can make 5 times as much money here than you can in Custer, South Dakota, then paying 2 times as much rent isn't really that bad because you're able to make 3 or 5 times the money. And many of these businesses are now closing or are forced to close as a result of the orders put in place as a result of COVID. Now, if you're no longer making that salary, it really doesn't make any sense for you anymore to pay your $2,000 to $6,000 a month to live in a shoebox. You'd want to go back to a place where for $600 to $800 a month you can actually live comfortably. And that's reason number one. Reason number two was if businesses are not allowed to open or they don't open because of COVID, that provided the entertainment that made the city worth the high price for people who are wealthy, like whether it's Broadway or a museum or restaurants or anything like that, then they would leave. So whether you have people choosing to leave for economic reasons or choosing to leave because it just doesn't make sense to pay a premium to be here because there's no fun stuff anymore, that would cause an exodus. And as the exodus occurred, the tax revenue for the city would go down. As tax revenue went down, services would go down. As services go down, it becomes shittier, which causes more people to leave, which then causes the city to tax the existing people more, which causes them to leave, and so on and so forth. One of the things about being a pessimist is that when you're wrong, it's actually a great thing. Because when a pessimist is wrong, it means the world is a better place than what you thought it was. And who wouldn't want the world to be a better place than what they thought it was? Here, I think I can be a pessimist, I could be wrong, but the world can also suck. Let me explain. So if you live in New York City and you're lower middle class, you probably at some point have felt like you don't belong here. The reason you may feel like you don't belong here is because everywhere you look, everything is insanely expensive. And things really, if you just look at an apartment, just want to find an apartment, in most zip codes, you just search, it's like $2,500. And then you go and you look and it's like a garbagey looking apartment. You feel like you don't belong here. There's nothing here for you. There's no place for you to go. The jobs that are glorified are typically all the finance and the tech jobs that you probably don't have. And the neighborhoods that you live in, even if you live in a neighborhood where you can actually afford to be lower middle class, well, give it 2 to 6 years and you won't be able to anymore. And the reason that occurs is there's so many people that want to move here that they wind up bidding up the prices of all of these apartments and houses, and it winds up pushing out people who are, have normal salaries and normal jobs until they cannot afford them anymore. This happens in places like Williamsburg, it happens in Bushwick, it'll continue to happen in many different neighborhoods in New York City, happen in Lower East Side, and it's going to continue happening. East Village as well. And the problem here with housing is, it doesn't make sense to build housing that is affordable with all the rent control laws and everything else. It causes developers to primarily focus on building housing for multimillionaires and billionaires. And even if you do want to build something in the city, between the regulations, the Department of Buildings, Sonny has a great video on the Department of Buildings and how they slow everything down. I suggest you watch it. I'll link it down below. In the 80s and 90s, you had a lot of contracting and cement work, concrete work controlled by the mob, which I'm sure resulted in some increased prices. It really doesn't make sense for anybody to build normal housing here. If it did, they'd be doing it. There's also a lot of people in a very tiny amount of land. So when you look at areas like Newark, Delaware, or certain parts of Indiana, it's actually profitable to build middle-class priced homes that are nice. In New York City, that's not the case. You'll have stock like this where I'm probably going to get some shit for saying this is not a great place. You got your, I'm not saying I'm above living here, and I probably wouldn't have a problem living here. It's just, tiny dining room, tiny kitchen, tiny living room, cracks in driveway, $928,000. Now, I'm not saying that I'm above living here. It's just that's not... Most of the country, 99% of the country, is looking at this and going, what the fuck makes this $1 million home? And you're right. This is not a fucking $1 million home. This is $1 million home in New York or San Francisco. It's old. It's tiny. I'd live there. Just give me $150,000 maybe, but not for $900,000. And the issue, the way I think New York is going to fail is the exact opposite, where it's not that housing prices go down as a result of all these people leaving and businesses leaving, rather that it continues to go up and it continues to be less and less affordable for normal people. So what are the two factors that would cause this? So the first thing you have here is an interest rate that I don't think has existed during my lifetime. The interest rates that you're getting to right now are so low that you are going to have people who otherwise would have not been able to finance or afford these properties have an incentive now to purchase these properties that they otherwise couldn't have been able to afford, meaning that they're going to go up and up and up in price to the point where this piece of shit that is going for $928,000 may wind up going for $1 million or $1.2 million next year. The second, and the more important one that I want to focus on in this video, is that many companies are doubling down on New York as a place to do business in spite of the pandemic. And there's an interesting article from the New York Times that came out recently about this that I'll put here. This is updated about a month ago. Facebook has leased enough new office space in Manhattan, nearly triple its current local workforce, including in one of the city's most iconic buildings. They talk about Apple doing the same, and they give you a little map over here. Now, Apple added about 200,000 or so square feet, and they did this in February. So this is before the pandemic. That doesn't really count. However, what absolutely this blew my mind is that very recently they added an additional 100,000 square feet of real estate. This happened just a few weeks ago in a similar area. This is over 100,000 square feet of more office space in Manhattan from Apple. And Google, Facebook, Amazon, they all seem to be following in these footsteps. Now, what does this mean? Well, Amazon, Apple, Google, these are tech companies, and they have more money than your average business, which means they can afford to pay their employees more. So that means that you're going to have those people that make $150,000 to $300,000 a year displacing people that used to make $60,000 to $100,000 a year in the city. So let's say in Custer, South Dakota, you're able to make, I don't know, like $20,000 or $40,000 a year. You come to New York because you're able to make, let's say, $80,000 or $90,000 a year, and you're paying a little bit more to live here, but you're making more money. Now you already are competing with housing with a lot of people who are in finance who are making more, but now your company closed or your company went out of business, and as a result of that, it's now replaced with a company that is able to pay their employees $150,000 to $300,000 a year, who's buying up more and more real estate. Well, there's no more housing being built here, and there's only a limited amount of housing on this tiny little island of Manhattan. And there's only so much housing in Queens and Brooklyn and so on and so forth. That's why you have buildings that are old, just kind of mediocre crap going for almost $1 million. What happens when you have an influx of employees that make $150,000 to $300,000 a year all come in here? That means that this is going to get even more expensive. You combine that with the interest rates being at a low all time in my lifetime, and you're going to have an incentive for people to move here who can afford to purchase housing that they otherwise may have not decided to purchase. That is then going to result in your rent going up or you eventually being pushed out of your own neighborhood, which is an interesting way for New York to continue failing, because that's what it's been doing for the past 10, 15, 20 years. People have been continuously pushed out of their neighborhoods as a result of there being a very high demand to live here, but a very limited amount of housing stock, and there not being an incentive structure in place to build housing that is for anybody besides multimillionaires and billionaires. Further, these companies are in many ways going to be some of the last companies standing. So let's say that you're an e-commerce vendor of dildos, right? Well, you may have not been considered essential in your locale, so you're no longer able to sell dildos. However, as I did a video on several months ago, Amazon, since they do sell essential products, but they also sell dildos, and the dildos may be in the same building, and the same employee is going to be shipping the food as the employee shipping the dildo, they were still taking orders for dildos. So if you sold a very specific product, you were forced to close. However, Amazon could sell that exact same product and be able to continue selling it. This is going to result in a consolidation in many industries where many companies will go out of business, but Amazon and other companies like them will get stronger because they were able to stay in business, which means that they will then go and have the money to buy up the rest of the city, hire these people, and then continue to have an incentive structure in place to have more people move to New York City that are going to bid up the price even more. So if you're a lower middle class person in New York City and you somehow managed to retain some semblance of a living through this time, and you thought, wow, I may actually get to afford to purchase a home or an apartment in my lifetime, or I may finally be able to move someplace that I can afford, My prediction is think again. It's not that as a result of New York City failing and people leaving that the housing prices will go down, but rather as a result of the record low interest rates combined with the fact that more and more multi-billion-dollar companies that were allowed to stay open during the pandemic while everybody else was forced to close to not kill grandma are move here and buy up more space and invite more employees to come here who are getting paid these insane salaries. They're going to need some place to live. And they're probably going to become your neighbor. And your landlord's probably going to, hey, look, I could get 2,000 from you, or I can get 4,000 from them. And this is going to be the direction that I think things are going in. I'm not sure if my prediction will be right or wrong, but this is just something I'm throwing out there. And there is actually a chance that real estate prices in New York City, I shit you not, have a chance of going up at a faster rate than they did before, rather than plunging and dropping if more companies follow this trend. This is something I'm watching very closely because I am curious. And, this may wind up simply becoming a city that really, again, there was like a lower middle class, rich people and broke people, but I think we're really going to wind up at that point where New York City is literally rich people and broke people. And then this is going to get replaced with a bunch of tech employees. But you barely have the housing for the people that already live here as is. So where are they going to live? These people that can afford $4,000 to $6,000 or $8,000 a month for an apartment are going to wind up living in the cubes that used to be $2,000 or $3,000 a month that 3 people were living in with roommates as it is, just so that they could afford to have a normal job. That's going to be really fucked up. And I'm kind of curious if is this going to be something where having a business in New York City and being around all of these people that make all this money is going to wind up being a good thing? Or will you actually make more money if you're able to stick it out and have a business in New York City? Or is this going to be something where if you stick it out and keeping a business in New York City, you're just going to be here for a bunch of pandemonium and wish you had left early? I'm kind of curious. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Yeah, that's about it. Just my thoughts.